We don't always succeed in what we try, certainly not by the world's standards. But I think you'll find that it's the willingness to keep trying that matters most. It's not the honors and the prizes and the fancy outsides of life which ultimately nourish our souls. It's the knowing that we can be trusted, that we never have to fear the truth, that the bedrock of our very being is good stuff.
Words of wisdom from Fred Rogers. Welcome back to the KDPG Sunday Edition. I'm Megan Schiller. That was Mr. Rogers' commencement address to the University of Pittsburgh class of 1993. His message to those graduates: growing humanity is the most potentially glorious exercise on earth. And now Mr. Rogers' message is resonating again through audiences across America with the release of the film A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And our guests today have worked to preserve the legacy and spread that message of Fred Rogers. So first, Elizabeth Mahoney was the head of the Information Sciences Library at Pitt, where she oversaw the Rogers Archive. She's now Associate Chair of Pitt's Department of Information Culture and Data Stewardship. And Shannon Wanless is the Director of Pitt's Office of Child Development. She also reviews the scripts for the animated series Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is produced by the Fred Rogers Company. And I'm also joined by Jerry Micco from the Post-Gazette to help me out as we talk to you two ladies about everyone's favorite neighbor, yes. Mr. Rogers.
Easily.
How excited are you guys that everyone's talking Mr. Rogers?
Well, in our circles, we're always talking Mr. Rogers, I feel like, but I'm glad everyone else is joining the conversation too. He's quite a legacy here.
Now, you two, you had such a this is your life, you know, that's so cool. So many people probably would want your job. You, back in the day, you had access to all the goods, everything everyone wanted to watch.
In 1988, when I started the School of Computing and Information, as a librarian in that library, I was introduced to Mr. Rogers' archives as part of my job. I had to take care of the archival material, the tapes, and answer reference questions. And for me, it was an experience because I hadn't grown up with Mr. Rogers. I'm from upstate New York, and I was a Captain Kangaroo kid. So I was so surprised and so happy that much of what I was able to do was to help people connect with either memories of their childhood, memories of family that had been on the program, or even work with people that were doing research and looking for a deeper understanding of what it means to be a child in today's world. And what's really super cool is that I'm the 20th century, she's the 21st century, because the work that I did was in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, but yours was is now with Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
Yes, and out actually with children and families living the legacy of his work.
I'm always curious because I grew up in this area, and Mr. Rogers was, part of that. But nationally, and do you get a lot of requests and from a lot of people? How did that message grow nationally? And now with the movie, it's going to be even more people will even see something of Fred Rogers' life. What kind of traffic, I guess I would say, Elizabeth, or do you get, and people saying, we want this and we want to see that now?
Well, much of that traffic was driven, of course, by his work on the various shows that he was on, by the people that he had on the shows, because he had many famous people. Lynn Swan was on, and I mean, many, many famous people. But we had people contact us from around the country, really, and around the world, looking for either research information or questions. They'd been in Pittsburgh, a family member had been in Pittsburgh, had been on the show, and they wanted to see that information or see that video. So when we started cataloging the materials in 1983 as part of a grant that Dr. Kimmel had written, a Title II-C grant, we started cataloging the material for the National Bibliographic Utility, and that sort of put the information that the materials were in this archival setting out there.
So cool, though, because you even have things like the scripts, or there are notes in there. I bet a lot of people would want to see those up close and personal.
We had letters that were sent to Mr. Rogers from people, people sending photographs of themselves watching Mr. Rogers on television. I mean, just things that came to the studios that they felt were important for us to have. The press kits, all of the tapes, the 3/4-inch production tapes. So all of that material was in the collection that we had that was called the Rogers Archive. Yeah, and people would come and they would just want to see what was there and how they might use it, sometimes for personal reasons, sometimes for research reasons. But it was always an interesting question, never the same one twice.
I like it. So many people, though, I don't know if you've said this, but I know my parents always said this, TV for kids these days is just not the same. It's terrible. There's no Mr. Rogers. But you probably would maybe disagree at least slightly with that statement.
Well, it depends on what you're watching when you're watching TV, and Daniel's certainly an exception to that. And in one way, he's an exception is that it draws in the adults and children's lives to be a part of the viewing and be a part of the continued conversation. So if they're continuing to sing the Daniel songs later in the day, it's that relationship and that communication between the adults and children that Mr. Rogers really valued and that Daniel's now encouraging.
How do you review scripts from the show? What are you looking for? What do you want to see in a script? And how many of you turned back and said, not going to make it? I mean, it's for Daniel Tiger. I mean, I'm just wondering if people could go too far out of the bounds on a show like that. But I'm curious. I thought that was a fascinating part of your
Well, two
job.
of the things they asked me to look for are thinking about the ages and stages of the characters, and are the things they're doing when they're in those shows actually representative of what you think a child at that age might be doing. So really helping parents get a sense of what should they expect of a child this age. So when they're watching the show with their children and they see a child resolve a conflict very quickly, that would seem not like most of their children if they're very young, right? So actually watching that struggle of the characters helps to normalize this is what's hard about being a young child, is figuring out how to calm down and resolve conflict.
What do kids learn by watching Daniel the Tiger? If people are watching, maybe they don't have little ones and they haven't seen the series, what are the kids taught?
Well, they're learning social emotional skills, and that's really a robust field now that has grown in part out of Mr. Rogers' work, and all around the country is starting to seep into schools. So if we're looking at emotion regulation, behavior regulation, conflict, taking turns and sharing, these are things that we are not born knowing how to do. It takes a lot of work to develop those skills and figure out when to use them and how to use them.
Both of you, I'm sure everyone is waiting for the movie and its premiere. I mean, anyone who grew up back, especially back here, really wants to see it. Did you have any contact with either one of you with the people who were making the movie? Did Tom Hanks come by and look and say, I want to see some footage?
Give you a hug.
Come on now. See where she's going? Give me a hug
No,
now.
unfortunately, Tom did not call me.
We all kept an eye out just in case.
Just in
though.
case,
Yeah. Yep.
You weren't too far from him, I guess, where they filmed. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I hear
haven't seen
everyone
it,
who. Have you seen it? Did you guys get a special preview?
Yeah.
No.
No, not yet. So what are your plans? Are you going to go this weekend?
I think we're waiting for extended family to be in town for the holidays, and then it can
And
be a
then-
family event.
Exactly, yeah, to try and see it with young kids as well, just members of the family to go together, yeah.
How cool is it, do you think, though, that Mr. Rogers' message is continuing on, and people in states across, people who never maybe had the connection to Mr. Rogers like we do here in Pittsburgh will now get to hear more about his legacy.
Certainly, he's the talent and the mission and the mind behind all of this, right? But he has this legacy, I believe, because he works so deeply with people that were affiliated with Pitt. Dr. Margaret McFarland, who he met through Arsenal School, who was in your department eventually, a psychologist, right?
Applied developmental psychology, yes.
And Dr. Margaret Kimmel, who was a library science faculty in my school, and Margaret Hodges, who was a storyteller librarian and faculty member. So those three people are just a few of the people that he talked to see what am I doing that makes my program worthwhile? How can I make it most focused for a young child? And I think the effort that he took to develop that, right, is why the program is still valuable, and I think why the Daniel Striped Tigers neighborhood
Yes.
program is also just well understood and well received.
Right, the close alignment with child development, with theory, with research, figuring out what is it that we know so that we can reflect that back in what we're offering to children. And that's really what our Office of Child Development does, stays closely connected with the university so we can always be, just as he was, linking research and theory to practice.
So when he did this, and obviously he did research and he talked to the right people, because the show lives on. It's still there, and it still has the same message. So how does that message, and what you do and what you see and what you observe, how does that message relate to today's children? Is it the same? Because children in 1975 are not children in 2019. It's different times, right? Or no?
I think it's just children have the same concerns and fears and worries that they would have had when he was developing the program. Obviously, we're in a faster world, maybe a busier world, but the concerns that he addressed that children had then, I think, still are relevant today, right?
Looking for the helpers when you're scared is certainly still relevant now and is what children should be doing. How do we have trusting relationships with adults? And also what I really see in a lot of our programs is really helping adults figure out exactly what he was saying, how you can make anything that is mentionable is manageable. And so when we're going out and talking to families about how do you talk to young children about race, how do you address trauma, these are complicated topics that are not necessarily new, but I think we're realizing are appropriate to talk to young children about once you have the skills and you've thought through what it is you can help them with.
All right, thanks guys so much for coming on and talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll have to have a viewing party to watch the movie
There you go.
together. All right. We'll be right back in just one moment when the KDPG Sunday Edition continues.